Welcome everyone to this week's edition of our AMA report covering both technical and fundamental analysis of the crypto market. My name is William. For those who don't know, I'm the head of XC Academy and as usual, your AMA host. A little bit about XC.com before we get started. The company was founded in 2018. We serve about 7.8 million registered users right now. We have about like a million monthly active users, and plus or minus a few percentage goes up and down. And we have about a 40 million total users in the whole XT ecosystem. If you haven't signed up for an account yet, definitely do so because we have so many new tokens. Uh, we've been, oh gosh, I've been so busy with a lot of the copywriting support because there's just so many new token listings going on, and when I'm looking at like the gains that they've had, some of them just like are just crazy. So definitely, if you haven't opened up an account, please just do so. Do yourself a favor and come just check out what like all the new interesting projects that we've been listing on a weekly basis. Xio.com does stand out as the world's first social infused exchange due to its innovative integration of social elements into cryptocurrency trading experience. Just want to let you guys know that there's a very interesting news lately that happened. I'm not sure if anyone's aware, but XRCom has recently rebranded itself to XT. I think that's just much more easier to say without keep saying that .com part. And I'm kind of happy that the company does it because it kind of makes everyone's life a little easier, especially when you're having a conversation about like the workplace you're having. They always ask you, "Are you working remotely? Are you doing some kind of like online work?" And then you kind of have to explain that, oh, it's cryptocurrency exchange. What's up with the .com part? Well, at least that one's gone. So for better or for worse, that does make rebranding and branding itself a lot easier for the marketing team. All right, so before we jump into the technical analysis part, let's quickly just go over some of the amazing new token listings that we have this week. We had a whole bunch on like the last 2 days. Just yesterday, we had like four. We have DFC, MPL, EPIK, STIK. If you guys are interested, definitely go check it out. But if there's one of them, I would definitely check out. It's the EPIK token, the Te Epic Duck. It's up 66% since the last 24 hours. That's ridiculously amazing. So if you got into it early, great. If you're up at least 20%, that's amazing already for 24 hours again. So that being said, we have a whole bunch of new ones. We have Line, Fedora Foundry, Per, Devilmon, GOG Games, that's GGG, XOID, Dexiordy. We have Cow from, and also COC. These are the Chronicles of Warcraft tokens. So I'm assuming that's a game in this sense. We have Heart by Humans AI. We're going all the way hit to like April 16th here. Like we have LBR from by Libra, that's up 27%. We have Rail, that's amazing. This is up 89% the last 48 hours. That's just ridiculous sometimes. Yeah, we have NMT, that's Netmind token, that's 52% gain in the last 2 days. It's unbelievable. Dmail, it's up 15% the last 2 days. We have ICE by the ICE network. I think a really interesting one on the April 17th token listing is ESE. That's up 525%, guys. That's just if you got in, like, all the great for you. We have another one by Drive3, the DRV3 token. That's up 243%. Oh, gosh, man. These are just crazy numbers. We have Pay by 100 Pay token, ELU by Lumia. We have Lie, Layer AI, and Earn by the Earn Network. And then also the GMPD token by GamesPad. And last but not least, we have the intro token by the One Intro project. And that's up 659% since April 15th. If you bought into it, congratulations, guys. Profits is profits, end of story. However little it is. But like if you're up 6x in the last 5 days, that's amazing. All right. If you haven't got into it, that's totally fine. I have no doubt that we have a whole bunch of new token listings for next week. So definitely stay tuned for that. All right, so let's jump into this week's technical analysis, I just want to give you guys a heads up that anything I do disclose in this AMA is not financial advice. I'm sure some of you probably gonna take it as financial advice, but just for legal reasons, it's not financial advice. It's educational. My opinion from an educational perspective. It's my analysis, just my thoughts on the crypto market for educational purposes only. All right. So that said, welcome back to our technical analysis segment. Okay, we're gonna dive deep into the world of Bitcoin trading, and we're just gonna stick to Bitcoin because due to Bitcoin dominance, I think it's like 52, 53% at this point. Or probably a little bit more at this point. But because of the Bitcoin dominance, it's if you understand Bitcoin's technical analysis chart, short or long term, you pretty much understand the whole market. All right, so let's just jump in. So the very first time frame that I'm gonna talk about is the 4 hour time frame. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, the 4 hour time frame, it's great for traders. But if you're not a trader, you're not buying, and selling within 24 hours. If you're not selling the position you bought in the last 24 hours, then you can ignore the 4 hour chart. If you're buying today and selling at the end of tomorrow, you could probably still, yeah, I guess you can look at the 4 hour chart too, but like, what's the point? At the point, you might as well just look at the 6 hour chart. I mean, it just makes more sense to me, right? You'll get a little bit more accuracy. So the 4 hour chart, it's amazing for traders day traders, especially if you're buying and selling, you want to see a more macro perspective. Like I said, it's perspective, right? So this 4 hour chart is macro perspective for someone who's buying and selling within 24 hours. If you're not buying and selling within 24 hours, if you're not selling the positions that you've bought in the last 24 hours, excuse me, and then the 4 hour chart, it would be a very micro time frame and you shouldn't be looking at it. So that being said, let's jump into it. So Bitcoin really has a it's at this pivotal juncture. If you guys probably checked the charts but today already, it's holding this critical 61K level right now, but we have dipped below it. We've dipped all the way down to 59. I'm happy. I think this was sooner or later this would have to happen. As much as I do appreciate BlackRock and Philadelphia buying so much Bitcoin day in day out, I think this was going to happen, especially for the fact that the Bitcoin halving is tomorrow morning, right? So there's no way. There's too much FUD, guys. Let's look at it from a fundamental perspective, just like a few minutes. Like it's the halving has never been like a bullish trend. It's always been negative. All right, let's just face it. In the very short term, for like the next few days, next week, it's always been bearish, right? Short term. So, if we look at like the ETF spot Bitcoin ETF data on the last 2 days, it's negative. Like, sure, okay, fine. We barely broken even yesterday. It was like minus 67 Bitcoin for the outflows and inflows, right? So that's negligible. But on Wednesday, we had like a huge minus 2,000 Bitcoin. But you have to keep in mind, this is like negligible. This is like less than 1% of the total inflows that we've had since the inception of the spot Bitcoin ETFs from January. So this is negligible. Yes, it's bearish, but the amount that are outflowing from the spot Bitcoin ETFs, they're completely negligible. I think it's just stupid to focus on the negative outflows from these spot Bitcoin ETFs. It's just there's no need to worry, considering the fact that how much inflows we had in the last few weeks. This is like less than 1%. So if someone tells you that, oh my God, look, money's outflowing from all these spot Bitcoin ETFs, yeah, it's just fun. Just ignore it. This is ridiculous. Anyway, so so we were holding like the 61,000 Bitcoin price line right now, not percent. That'd be crazy. And I do think that if we do dip below the 59K, we can easily hit to 56. Maybe 55, maybe at the max. I don't see us going all the way down to 54, 53. I mean, that's pretty aggressive. Sure, feel free to put some buy orders there if you want to feel lucky. I mean, yeah, maybe we have like a really really quick flash crash, but I don't know. I think that's a really aggressive buy. However, hey, doesn't hurt, right? You want to put some buy orders down to 58, 56 and some at 53. Sure. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll have someone selling panic sell and then dip down quickly, and then you get to scoop up the cheap Bitcoins, right? But I do think you should be extremely cautious if you're a trader, if you're looking at the 4 hour chart, because it's just volatile. Guys, the next few days is like extreme volatility. Now, if you're trading on spot, good for you. If I was trading, especially during this particular volatile season, I probably stick to spot. I'm not a like I don't look at the technical charts less than 5 minutes. But it's just too much. It's too much volatility. Like if you're a perpetual trader, just be extremely careful in how much lever you're using. If I were to get back into perpetual trading, I don't think I'm going to be using anything more than three x. I think anything more than that, you'll easily have your stop orders completely get you'll get stopped out, right? So be careful if you're doing perpetuals right now. I know a lot of some of my really good professional trading friends, and this is all they do. They just trade day in day out, and they're scared as hell. I mean, and if they use leverage all the time, but even some of them are just sticking to spot. Some of them are just like a hands off approach. Right now, they're not even trading. They're just like looking at the chart day in and day out, having some coffee, and not touching their trades at all because it's just volatility up the yin yang. All right. So that being said, we are approaching halfway. It's literally in the next like 20 hours, right? Probably less than that at this point. So if you do see that, if we do break down all the way to 56K, do expect to have extreme volatility. We're going to be really choppy in the next few days. But yeah, like if you're going to use like leverage, you have to be careful because your usual stop loss might not work for you. You might get stopped out a lot earlier because of this volatility. So please be careful. Take care in that regard. You might have to just calibrate it and suck it up and use it like a more wider stop loss in that case. All right, that's enough of the 4 hour charts. I'm sure like half of you guys are traders, half of them probably don't trade, right? So let's jump into the 1 day time frame. I think this is like a lot more useful for everyone in general. That being said, if you look at the 1 day time frame, oh gosh, I just love it. I love it because I did mention, it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I did mention we were in we are in wave 4, and then we had a nice push up. I believe that I said something like that 2 weeks ago. It was just simply last week. And yes, we had a nice push up, and now we are in the corrective wave A. Now, if this doesn't, but if you look at the 1 day time frame, you actually won't see it. So if you actually chart like the all the tops using the candlestick bodies and bodies only, not the tails, and just put like a slant line down, you actually see that we are actually in corrective wave. If you zoom out to the weekly chart, now chart the line on your day on your 1 day time frame, but then zoom out to 1 week, and you actually see, look, we are actually in corrective wave A. If for those who don't know what I'm talking about, this is the Elliott wave theory. Definitely go check it out. I highly recommend this for kind of like upper beginner traders, right? So that being said, we are in the corrective wave. We're going to be choppy for a while. We're going to go sideways. This is normal in corrective wave. I do expect us to like recover just a little bit and then go down another 60% of the amount that we've gone down up till now. So we can easily hit 53, guys, right? But like, I don't see us going anywhere lower than that if we go down to 53. If not, I think at 56, 55 would probably be a lot more safe. I mean, if you get your Bitcoin buy orders in 56, 53, that's 55, excuse me. That's amazing already, all right? Like, so you got to pat yourself on the back. If you do get anything less than 59, just pat yourself on the back, all right? Don't be so hard on yourself to the point like if you didn't get like the very bottom. That's just unfair, right? All right, so we do have this now today. We have for the last 12 hours had this really healthy downturn. You've seen Ether drop all the way less than 3,000%. Actually, I had one of my good friends. He's a professional trader. He messaged me this morning. He's like, "Oh, he's so sad because he actually bought some Ethereum at $2,850." And I'm like, that's a good thing because it rebounded. He actually doesn't want to. He doesn't want that buy order to go through because we're in the corrective wave A, man. Even if we like do pull back, even if we do recover in the next few days and correct wave B, there's wave C. We are not done correcting, all right? Things are going to go back down. So he's trying to figure out how to sell that out, regardless, as long as he breaks even. So yeah, I do think even on the 1 day time frame, I do think 59 is definitely a critical, strong support level. If that breaks, yeah, look, it's buying spree time. You're gonna put some buy orders like 58, 57, 56, 55, all the way down to 53. Like at this point, if you're buying Bitcoin, then that's what I do. If you're buying altcoins, then just ladder buy in that case. Anything less than 59K Bitcoin is just a steal at this point. I don't see us going anything down to like the 40. That's just, yeah, it's ridiculous. Do keep in mind, guys, that like in the broader like traditional financial markets, and this includes like the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, we do have a lot of pullback lately, and that's also because we've got, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but we have the whole Israel and Iran situation. I really hate to see like the world going to shit, but with all this geopolitical tensions going on and missiles flying left and right, east and west, people are scared in the traditional financial markets, right? So obviously you're going to see all people selling like more riskier stock. You're going to sell People are gonna sell their Bitcoin from these spot ETFs. They're gonna move it out of their stock. They're gonna buy like safer stuff like gold and silver and platinum and other commodities like oil. It's always been like that, right? When there's volatility, when there's economic uncertainties and there's like, potential war happening, or just even if it's not war, it's just like, conflicts escalating. You're gonna throw me you're gonna shoot at me, I'm gonna shoot back at you, and this thing happens like for months on end, and this is not good for companies to do business. Next thing you know, they can't even ship your iPhones halfway around the world because the boats can't ship the iPhones from China to wherever it's supposed to go. I mean, it's bad for logistics, guys, and global economies, they rely on shipping logistics lanes. And then next thing you know, what was it like? Ever since like Iran sent those missiles to Israel. Did I say Iraq? Israel. I'm so sorry. You've seen like what was it? There's this huge part of like airlines. A whole like there's a huge part of like airline traffic that's completely empty near Iran, and that's bad for business because it's not just commercial airlines. There's people sending mail, business stuff, shipping parcels back and forth, shipping like stuff. It doesn't have to be boats; it can be planes, right? So everything gets good delays. It's bad for business. So when that's bad, what do you need? You need like the stuff to survive, right? Things to hedge your funds. And if that's not crypto, because if that's very volatile, then people move stuff to gold and oil and stuff that people will need to survive. So it's just how things. Unfortunately, I'm really sad to see this whole Israel-Iran political situation. But look, it is what it is, right? And considering the fact that we just had reports from Israel executing missile strikes on Iran, and next thing you know, like the crypto Bitcoin just had a massive 5% dip this morning. So it is what it is, right? So, but let's hope we get a little bit more peace, a little bit more stability in the next few months. Anyways, that being said, I'm just going to quickly go through the 1 week time frame. I mean, we are zooming out really wide, excuse me. For those who don't understand the 1 week time frame, the best way to understand this at this point is just to really study just look into Elliott wave principle. So long story short, there's one whole complete cycle, and the cycle basically involves two distinct phases. There is a upward phase, which is we count by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5 sequences, and then there's like a corrective downward phase, and that's this ABC sequence that comes after the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves, right? So it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC. So there's 8 phases, right, in one cycle. That's basically the Elliott wave principle. I've just summed it up for you in less than a minute. And usually the wave C, the last wave, the corrective wave, is about 0.6%, bigger than wave A. And if you believe that, if you look at the weekly at the weekly time frame, we are in wave A, right? Wave B, we're going to go up a little bit, but don't panic. Don't panic, if you're gonna sell, sure, if you're a trader, but if you're an investor and you're just trying to buy the bottom, you might want to keep some of your funds on the side for wave C, because if it happens, great, but if it doesn't happen, all right, well, whatever. At least you bought a little bit during the current wave A. But if it does happen, you want some stables on the side to buy the dip, right? So just kind of keep that in mind, all right? Okay, so that's enough of technical analysis. Hopefully, you guys have a good understanding of what's going on. Let's jump into the fundamental analysis. Do keep in mind, though, that I do keep I just choose projects that are in the top 100 just for safety's sakes. I really don't want to be touching anything that's like really small market cap. And next thing you guys know, you guys are have difficult positions because something really bad happened to them. But that being said, the first project I do want to talk about, and I had really interesting changes, improvements, or you can say interesting proposals this week, is WorldCoin. Yes, that's right. This coin is it's the number ranked number 86 in the total market cap. So that's not big, it's not small. And for those who might not be familiar with WorldCoin, it's basically you think of this way. I think a better, interesting way to understand WorldCoin is not just by like scanning your eyeballs and getting free money, but you kind of have to see it in another way. So for those who may probably are familiar with Ethereum name service, it's ENS. That's actually another coin, but the Ethereum name service basically allow users to pay a certain amount of fee to quote unquote rent a specific name, right? Something like abc.eth, right? And you basically take that name. It's like, I don't know, apple.com, right? It's like a URL link, right? A website link. So you take that eth name and you tie it specifically down to one of your specific wallet's addresses. Now, the cool thing with WorldCoin, they take a completely different approach. So you don't have to go and rent this URL, Ethereum address that only allows you to, well, I don't know, it really depends how much fees you pay, but you don't have to rent it, right? Because if you basically go to one of these eyeball like scanning websites from WorldCoin and you scan your eyeball and it connects that retina data to your WorldCoin app, your wallet, you actually have what Ethereum name service did. You have a very unique address that is specifically tied to your bio data, right? Your retina. And that makes your wallet unique. No one else can actually have the same wallet as yours, right? So effectively, it does what Ethereum name service does, except that as a user, you're not renting this URL, this blockchain URL. You actually own it. You own this wallet for the rest of your life, right? Even if you pass away, the wallet's still yours. So I think that's probably the right way to see and understand WorldCoin. Another way to understand it is basically, yes, you get free money every 15 to 19 days. I think that's definitely another way to see things. But that being said, as you guys might or might not be familiar, WorldCoin was founded by Sam Altman. He's writing OpenAI, and the cool thing this week is they actually launched a layer 2 Ethereum compatible blockchain known as WorldChain. So if you guys have this already, please open your app. I believe you guys can actually get like some kind of special stamp right now. So definitely go claim it. I think it's for free. For those who don't have the app yet, go download it and try and find one of those eyeball scanning thingies somewhere in your country. If you don't have one in your country, if you could take a small little vacation to somewhere that does, I think it's worth it because okay, let me do the math for you guys. I have it written down where, and here's the reason why. Okay, you get about 3 WLD coins every 15 to 19 days. All right, so I'm gonna use just past data to give you a quick arithmetic justification why you should take a small little mini vacation to wherever is the closest place you can actually get your eyeball scan and get your WorldCoin app running. And the reason being is on March 10th, right? That was actually when like WLD, the coin was the highest. That was at $10.80. That's about $31 of free money twice a month, right? So that adds up to
65 US dollars a month for you to open your app twice a month and claim your free money. You're probably thinking, okay, 65 US dollars is not a lot of money, but for some people it is a lot of money, especially if you're like Southeast Asia or Africa. 65 US dollars a month is a lot of money. All right, so but think of it this way, guys. We haven't even gone parabolic yet, right? And that the all-time high for WorldCoin was like what, a month ago, March 10th at $10.80. Okay, well, we could easily do like what, a 3x, let's just be moderate, 2.5x. Let's just say WorldCoin would hit $25, right? That would be $75 per claim, and for a total of 150 US dollars a month. And if you keep claiming every time you actually get the free claim for 6 months, let's just say from next month, May, all the way to the end of October this year, that's 900 US dollars. Free money. Yeah, let that sink in your head, guys. So if you guys can find one of those eyeball scanning stations in your country, great. If you can't, take a small little vacation, because this could easily hit $25, right? So you'll pocket $900 free dollars, right? Even if assuming that you sell it sometime by the end of this year, if not sometime before summer next year, before things get frisky. All right, so that being said, we do see this new layer 2 chain that they've actually implemented called World Chain. I think this is really smart by Sam Altman or whoever the person who came up with this, whoever Sam actually hired to do this. And the reason being is there's just so much liquidity on Ethereum layer 1, and it's easy to move funds from layer 1 to, of course, especially if you are a layer 2 solution on building on Ethereum. The cool thing that they are using zero knowledge proof, so that's actually really probably the best way to actually secure funds on as a roll up. And this really basically addresses like a lot of like gas fee concerns. But then again, what chain doesn't do that these days? I do see like I do see and envision huge network congestions by the time we do see like when we start going parabolic on Ethereum layer 1. So why not more funds onto a new layer 2? I think that would definitely help a lot of congestions when that time does come. So I believe this is going to be releasing this sometime this summer, and I'm really looking forward to how this layer 2 and WorldCoin actually navigates a lot of regulatory challenges. I think they're having a lot of difficulties in Brazil, but considering the fact that the governments are actually concerned of WorldCoin project, I think they're doing something right, because if the governments are not concerned of your project, it means you are a small little shrimp, a small fry. They wouldn't care about you. But if you're important and and the government's concerned of you, it means you're doing something right. It's basically same thing why the SEC is going after Uniswap. They're doing a lot of things right, and that's why the SEC has to go after them, because they got to slow them down, or else for many other reasons, which I do not want to get into, because I don't want to get in trouble. All right, so that's my spiel on WorldCoin. If you haven't checked it out, definitely go check it out. But please go get your eyeball scanned. For those who might be like concerned that someone's gonna like take your eyeball data and I don't know, go to your bank and claim your bank money through your eyeball. I don't think we have the technology for that yet. I think as of this right now, they're just taking your eyeball data and using that as a way to scramble up the seed phrase entropy. Basically, when you generate a seed phrase, you need high entropy. Long story short, what it means is to make sure that you don't actually have the same seed phrase as someone else, right? Excuse me. So it just gives you like extra data to have a higher entropy to make sure that your the seed phrase that generated for your WorldCoin wallet is as unique as it gets. That's basically it. So you shouldn't be too worried about like WorldCoin project has like your Retina ID and they're gonna send a Terminator down to kill you or something. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, don't go get your free money. All right, let's move on. But the next one I do want to talk about is Optimism, OP token. And the reason why I'm talking about Optimism is because yes, I know it's the numbers. It's currently today it's number 45 in total market cap. But you have to understand that zero knowledge proof used by WorldCoin is the OP stack. It's the Optimism OP stack framework, guys. And that just basically means that when you have huge companies,